I feel like Black lives do matter to Black people, but I think there is a divide in the Black community. You have all these activists and people marching and protesting and doing all this stuff to show that Black lives matter, but then you have these people that are in the streets. They have a whole different mentality than someone else. So to them, to a certain group of people, Black Lives Matter when it's a white person or a cop killing them. But if this person like steals from you or does something to you, all right, their life doesn't matter. You're gonna shoot them. So I think that's where the divide comes in, where people say, "Oh, Black lives don't even matter to Black people," and it's not a legit general statement to the whole Black community. And I think for that to change, you have to address the segments of people that have that different mentality.
With regards to the black on black crime, that's not justified. It's not justified. It's wrong, as well as the police brutality. It's just that the analogy with regards to police officers who are there to protect and serve, they're on our dime. We pay taxes for them to protect us. So they shouldn't be out killing us. You know what I mean? The gang violence and the other black on black crime is equally wrong. But in this case, you have these young kids who are either totally ignorant or just thuggish and haven't gotten to where they understand or appreciate life, or their lives have been diminished in such a fashion that they can't even see beyond tomorrow to know that they will one day want to live longer and do something else. So when they're taking a life, it's this ignorance that's doing it. How do you justify a police officer taking a life? You know? So one doesn't negate the other. They're both wrong. It's just that in the situation with police officers killing African Americans, it's as though we're paying them to kill us because we pay taxes like
If
everyone
black
else. But
lives matter, right, and it should matter, why don't we get unarmed and handcuffed and put into jails and live through our jail sentence the way Caucasians do? So for me, I agree. Our black people should not be killing our black people. It's not right. We need to come together and figure that out. But when someone says Black Lives Matter, most likely they are talking to the police force. They are talking to those who have taken advantage and have gotten away with slaying and killing us for traffic stops, for selling cigarettes, for selling CDs, for walking up the street. You know, I want to know why a white man can walk up and down the street with his gun on his hip and people and police officers pull up and ask him what's going on. Please put your gun down, sir. Please, I will ask you again. And they can go through this hour-long session. And when black people are on the scene and have that same situation, we're shot immediately. We've seen videos where individuals are running without a gun and shot in the back.
As long as we have a sense of a mindset that promotes individualism, uh, collectively speaking, we're going to always be scattered. We're going to always be unified in our thoughts, but individualized in our efforts, if that makes sense. I think that ultimately it just simply starts with us having just a more appropriated respect for ourselves, so that way we can create a platform in which other people find it suitable to respect us as we respect ourselves. I don't. You can't expect for somebody to respect you or police you in a certain manner if we contribute to the main reasons they police us the way they police us.
Yeah.
So I think that ultimately it does start with us. I think it does start with us. And one of the contributing factors is, the things that we accept. Because we always look to police to do a lot of stuff. But we, like you said, don't meet them halfway in our efforts to becoming more unified as a community. We can't expect to have a bunch of good, decent police officers policing us, but then we still killing ourselves off, making their job a lot easier.
Yeah.
So until we establish until we just eradicate that image of self-hatred and negativity and implement a more unified image, we're gonna always be at the shorter end of the stick when it comes to policing.
Black Lives Matter to you?
Absolutely, Black Lives Matter every day. But
It definitely is gonna come down to us respecting ourselves and us respecting our brothers, respecting our sisters. It, I don't know what better way to put it other than I'm gonna love you because you're black.
absolutely,
Period.
just
And
having
I don't
a
want
natural.
to see. I don't want to see anything bad happen to you, just as much as I hope you don't. You hope nothing
Mhm.
bad happens to me.
Mhm.
So it's us just taking back ownership of taking care of each other.
Yeah, it
You
all
know
starts.
that whole my brother's keeper concept or my sister's keeper concept. It's like that's a real thing,
Mhm.
and there's so much power in it that we just miss
Absolutely.
because it's always about the self.
it's always about
We're
individualism.
all for self all the time, and it's just
Mhm.
like, yo, it's so much easier, takes so much less effort to just come together.
Yeah. Pull our resources
So much
together.
easier. Like it's hard to be mad at somebody.
Oh, it takes a lot of energy.
It takes a lot of energy to be mad at somebody,
Mhm.
and then even more to be mad at somebody
Shane, so
that looks
I
just
do
like
think
you.
Black Lives Matter to Black people. Not all the Black community has a good way of showing it. You know, like I said, they only want to show it when something happens, but we should show it when something positive happens too. You know, that needs to be shown. People need to see that so they know that we actually care about each other and we care about what's going on and we care about the positive things. You know, people graduating and starting businesses and things like that. That matters too, not just when somebody dies.
Again, we can't beg you and boycott and protest for you to stop burning down our houses just so we can burn them down ourselves. Like, that doesn't make any sense, and it looks silly to everyone else. But at the same time, I don't feel like people on the outside can tell us how to change our community. You don't have the same life experiences. You don't know. Like, this just simply boils down to that. It's that you just don't know. You can't tell me how to fix it. I can't tell a drug addict how to overcome their addictions if I've never been there. Like, I can have all the training in the world and I can go to school and know how to talk to him and this and that, but I've never been
proving
there.
that somebody is. You want to prove somebody do it the right way. You know, like, you want to get a degree, you know, like, be a great coach, be a great father figure, be a great person. You know what I mean? Like, lead by example in your community or what have you. Some other half of our Black community, they want to prove to somebody by, oh, yeah, I shot so and so, I shot so and so, bragging about, yeah, I did time. Yeah, you know, it is what it is. You know, we don't appreciate ourselves as a color. Like, we don't appreciate where we come from. We don't appreciate what happened in Africa all those years ago. We don't appreciate the Egyptian roots. We don't appreciate that. Like, a lot of those world leaders, they're probably rolling over here in their graves, looking up from the heavens above, just saying, like, all our work is, like, wiped away. I really don't think there ever could be an answer. I don't really think we appreciate Black lives ourselves. Like, we only appreciate it when somebody else is shooting at us. It's like we like to bully ourselves. The minute somebody else throws a rock at us that isn't this color, all hell breaks
If you go into a predominantly Italian community, predominantly Asian community, a predominant Latino community, those same things happen over there. You have Latino versus Latino crimes. You have Italian on Italian crimes, Irish on Irish, so forth and so on. You have those in those same neighborhoods. But in America, for some reason, the Black community is glorified and lack of a better word is franchised now. It's something that even in Hollywood and entertainment, they portray, they take advantage of it because to some demographic it's cool. It's what's happening now. And to the people that say Black Lives Matter but not the Black people, I mean, the response you hear now is all lives matter. Well, even if that's the case, and I saw this quote earlier, even if that's the case, why aren't you out here with us if all lives matter?